Well, for starters, she used to be the head. She recreated the legendary Gâteau, safe to say.
Gâteau de Bourg. That's the super exclusive cake that they only sell.
Well, apparent, but none of the
The Fortress of Mirabede.
Escoffier didn't have...
So that...
Even though Escoffier is no longer head chef at the hotel. So, I'm guessing what Monica wants is for us to convince Escoffier...
Oh, Paimon gets it! Mom, it's simple.
You thought cream of mushroom soup was ready. You'd have had more sense. At least then, you wouldn't have wasted all this perfectly good cream and mushroom.
I'm sorry, Cream. I'm sorry, Mushroom.
As you can see, Escoffier is that kind of chef as well.
You have to leave it on the heat for long enough to...
Yes, Chef.
Then go back.
Yes, Chef.
Waiting to be served?
Oh, no.
So you're not paying customers? Then I'm afraid the wait will be even longer.
It's hard to talk to Escoffier when she's in the zone. Let's take a seat.
Looks like the rush hour is finally over. Is it?
These days, yes. I'd say business has tripled since Escoffier joined as temporary. Well, in her...
Wait. Take these home with you. We can't...
Oh.
For what? What?
Firmont.
He's the chef that he decided to pick up some work to help pay the bills. Escoffier knows their situation, so she's been making some extra food every day for him to take...
Hey, I heard that, Navia. I've told you before. No one's making extra food. Hilarious.
Yeah. Failed dishes that just so happen to be nutritionally...
So you two must be the world-famous traveler and his companion.
Oh, so you know us already.
I certainly am, but... Besides...
What?
Well,
That's...
honestly, I do wonder if she's just emulating me. I mean, I'm not the most pleasant head chef to be around either. Anyway, suffice to say that given the history between us, it'll be tricky for me to tell her she's doing her job wrong without coming across like a huge... Fiamar and the others probably think that Savannah gets it all.
I wouldn't be so sure about...
She mentioned me.
Whatever shortcoming... Plus...
Oh, Monica.
I
can't believe... Unbelievable! I won't stand for this.
Wait, so now she's...
Let's go catch up to her. We don't want to keep her...
Wait, she looks like...
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry,
Oh,
but...
what the heck?
Get up, Monica! Can't you see that if you want forgiveness, then do what—
Savannah's...
That's some backwards logic. How can you fix your mistake without being allowed to cook?
We apologize for interrupting your meals.
It's fine. With my layman's palate, it's not like I can tell the difference anyway. I was actually quite enjoying my meal until she appeared out of nowhere and started apologizing. Gave me a bit of a fright, to be honest.
Oh, well...
Gosh, that's pretty strict. Has she always been that way? I don't recall things being like this when Escoffier was head chef here. I gotta say, you're all looking a little worse for wear these days.
I mean, Escoffier was strict too, but I think the difference is that her criticism was more constructive, so you knew what you did wrong and how to improve. We all knew that it came from a good place. Chef Escoffier was hard on us because she truly... But these days, whenever we make a mistake, we just get told to wake up, get your head in the game, or just... And it's only gotten worse since we're...
Monica, you don't need to call—
Yeah, but through no fault of your own, that banquet was...
Lumaline? What's that?
A new drug from the Fontaine Research Institute, produced from an extract of the Lumitwal. Apparently it sharpens the senses, so they used it to treat people with impaired responses to stimuli.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that. They found out you can use it as a flavor enhancer since it stimulates the taste buds. Makes things pretty addictive.
They also found that overuse can have mood-altering effects, and even lead to nerve damage. So it quickly ended up on the guards' list of controlled substances. Unfortunately, however, some food products containing the additive had already made it to the market by the time the guards banned it from the restaurant industry.
Everyone knows that in all likelihood, someone probably just purchased a batch of contaminated ingredients by mistake, but you took all the blame. We all know why. You just didn't want to see this turn into a place where tensions are constantly running high. And now look at you. A fry chef in the Fleuve Cendre.
What are you trying to say? Sure, the Spina's Tavern is no Hotel de Boer, but come on.
Oh, the Fleuve Cendre, you say? Great. That's where I'm dining from now on.
Monica, I'm very happy with my current job. And there's no changing the past. We just have to let by. Besides, at the end of the day, I was the head chef, regardless of whose mistake it was.
If only Savannah was
I'm sorry? Do you have a problem with my conduct as head— So, you do remember who's Escoffier? I thought you'd left this place—
What happened to you, Savannah? Why are you acting like this? When I turned this place over to you,
You made me the head chef and gave up your right to tell me how to do my job. You're not the boss here anymore. So stop acting like you own the—
Whoa. Sounds like someone...
My God, have you grown a temper since I last saw you? Have you put even half the amount of energy into improving your cooking skills, or are you still using the Pluie Lotus as an off-brand marcotte, thinking no one can tell the difference?
That's none of your business!
What happened to not storming in and...
Ho ho! I was not expecting to see something this spicy as soon as Escoffier returned.
Huh? Fan Agem?
Aye, miladies. Might I make a humble suggestion? Given that we have ourselves a tête-à-tête between chefs at the Hôtel de Bord, I dare say it would be de rigueur to settle this
The traditional way? That can...
That's right! I'm talking, of course, about the tradition.
According to legend, the founders of Hotel de Boer, Modeste and Savelli, used this method to resolve all of their disputes. Everything from petty arguments over next week's menu to disagreements over the strategic direction of the restaurant. The cooking contest would decide who had the
It sounds like they had a lot of free time on their hands.
Ah, well, it might sound that way to us. But in fact, the cooking contest played an enormous role, and indeed...
Reintroduction?
What say you, Escoffier?
Sure, I reinstated it, but I'm not a chef at Hotel de Boer anymore. Isn't that...
I see no issue as long as both sides agree to the terms. We could simply treat it as an
exhibition. If we're going to battle it out, let's put it all on the line. If I lose, it's up to you what happens to me.
I don't want anything to happen to you.
But if you lose, You hand over the Codex de Board to me.
What? The Codex de Boer?
Only the legendary handbook written by the original head chef Modeste. It contains all his secret recipes, including gâteau. It's the greatest treasure in Fontaine's culinary world. And only the present and former head chefs of the Hotel de Boer have the right to read it.
Present and former. Wait, but that already includes Savannah, though.
What do you want that old thing for? You have your own copy.
Don't take me for a fool. You know perfectly well what I mean. I want your copy. The original version. The one you took with you when you left us.
I'm sorry, I must be missing something. You know, there's no difference between the original and the copy, right? They contain the exact same...
Stop trying to change the topic. What's wrong, Escoffier? Scared you're gonna lose to me? Or are you scared?
Savannah, you may remember that we gave her the original as a parting gift, to thank Escoffier for her years of service. Asking
Oh, I'm sure it won't be an issue, as long as both sides agree. And as for the contest itself, let's make it a bake-off. Gâteau de Boer, per the recipe in the Codex. Well, Escoffier?
You sound all right then. Let's see how much you've... I hope you
Believe me.
Escoffier? A little hastily.
Oh, it'll be fine. Let's head back to the Fleuve Saint. Well,
Escoff on it. That okay. One case where you.
oh, that? He and his good friend, for instance. Rare was the ingredient that they could never make more than 16 slices of the cake per day. But everyone who tried it claimed that it was one of the most blissful and invigorating things they had ever tasted. Back in the day, he and his good friend Savelli explored far and wide, partly adventuring, partly looking for new ingredients and developing new recipes. Their creations had an enormous influence on the course of Fontaine cuisine, turning it into a much more vibrant and diverse scene. For instance, legend has it that the original Gâteau de Boer was made using a special secret ingredient that Modeste discovered on one of his adventures. So rare was the ingredient that they could never make more than 16 slices of the cake per day. But everyone who tried it claimed that it was one of the most blissful and invigorating things. Modeste and Savelli went on to found the original Hotel de Boer, which catapulted them to stardom in Fontaine's culinary world, especially Modeste. He was hailed as a once-in-a-generation genius, and over time, the recipes from his adventure log became known as the Codex de Boer.
Paimon's heard this kind of story before. Armed with the Codex, the Hotel de Boer took its rightful place as the finest restaurant in the land, serving those recipes for centuries to come.
What? No, of course not. Cooking is a constantly evolving art form. How could any restaurant survive if they only served food that was popular last century? Anyway, never mind centuries. Savelli and Modeste parted ways not even 10 years after their rise to fame. Then, Modeste passed away while he was still in his prime. And that was it. The end of the Hotel de Boer's heyday. It fell into decline, and for most of its history, it was just a nondescript place with a couple of cheap tables. It's only in recent decades that it started recovering. Even then, it still took numerous relocations and changes of management before we finally ended up with Vanigem and the restaurant we have today.
Oh! So the Codex really isn't all that, then. Paimon figured it was like one of those mystical books they have in Liyue's martial arts novels, where the main character learns all their secret powers from.
Yes, well, that's fiction, and this is real.
Case in point. Even the Gateau.
Wait, really? Why though? Didn't that recipe make it into the Codex?
It did, but like I said, it's the dusty old book now, and the records aren't as legible as they once were. Not to mention that there's no way of finding the secret ingredient Modeste wrote about. So, reimagination is right. As for why we gave it—
Oh! Huh.
Hey now, it might not be the original Gateau de Bourg, but it's still the most delicious cake in Fontaine today. And who knows? Maybe Escoffier's version. Just think.
Anyway, before I left my ode—
Could it...
Well, it may be from her.
Her suggestion.
What?
Who knows? We could spec it means besting her in this bake-off. And however much she's changed since we—
Well, I'm confident that you and yours.
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Gateau de Bourg. Now, if I had—
Well, that's easy!
Well, I have heard the Traveler is—
Oh, count me in, even if it means. I've always called it chopping stuff up, not mise en place. But it's basically the same thing, right?
Oh, Navia. The difference in your case is that mise en place is chopping stuff up with— Looks like you found that easier than I expected.
Yeah, thankfully it was pretty straightforward in the end. You made it sound like we'd be carving statues out of fruit.
Well, brace yourself, because the next step is anything but straight— a kind of but this isn't exactly standard kitchen equipment. So that probably—
Custom-made equipment from the Fontaine Research Institute, huh? That's some pretty high-tech food prep. I've never used anything this weird before. Cool, because not weird.
outlines your face. Let me leave you. Well, I got a sense that she's we chefs always express ourselves in our cooking. So
She's the.
it's a concern.
Okay. That's.
Oh, that? Well, back in the day, for instance, so rare was Modeste and Savelle, especially Modeste. He was hailed as a once-in-a-generation genius.
Ah, Paimon's heard this.
What? No, of course. Anyway, and that was it. Even then, it's—
Oh!
Yes, well,
Case in point. Even the gâteau.
Wait,
It did, but like I said, so read as for why we get.
oh,
Hey now, just think.
Anyway, before I.
could it be...
Well, it may be from.
What?
Who knows? We could. It means vesting her. However much she's changed since.
Well,
Let's not. Now, if I had.
Well, that...
Well, I have heard the
oh, count. Even if it means.
Come.
I've always called it chopping stuff up, not mise en place. But it's basically the same thing, right?
Oh, Navia. The difference in your. Did.
Carving statues out of fruit?
Well. Forward. A kind of special. But this isn't exactly standard kitchen equipment. So that.
Custom-made equipment from the Fontaine Research Institute, huh?
And done. These are the flavor compounds extracted.
Wow! Even the smell is so much...
Absolutely not. I'll demonstrate again. Slowly and carefully. Not a drop too much. And voila! Now it's your turn. Not terrible. But the traveler's work was surprisingly good. Are you sure? That goes without saying. Still, alright. Now for the part I've been looking forward to. I want each of you to cook something that's right. How's it going? Look at that!
Pretty good, right? Not to brag or anything, but Paimon's a bit of a connoisseur when it comes to la food.
6 points.
What? Oh, well, fair enough. Paimon doesn't cook all that often, so...
That's 6 out of 100.
What?
You say you're a connoisseur. By that logic...
Aww.
Me next. I'll have you know that this batch of macarons has 2 whole tables.
So you went from 12 tablespoons to 10? Well, it's nice to know you actually measured it out. Because it tastes like you just threw in whatever was left in the jar. 6...
Aw.
Now to the final dish.
So,
This is our last...
8 points.
darn. That's been...
Not exactly. The color is spot on. Beautiful aroma. Excellent presentation. I have to give this one 8 points out of 10. Maybe even 9 points.
What? How did you pull that off?
Don't get me wrong. There's room for improvement. But still, this is clearly the work of an accomplished chef. I can tell that you've put many hours of work into honing your skill. I can really taste the grace of the snow-winged goose in this dish. The traveler's journey, with all its trials, tribulations, and setbacks.
Hey, you made that last part up. No way.
Well, it looks like I lost fair and square. I guess you'll be taking the traveler as one of yours.
But if it takes 3 chefs, that still leaves 1 slot remaining. maybe Paimon and Navia should keep practicing?
Chef Escoffier,
Oh, it's Hilaire! What brings you here?
I heard the news about the... Oh, no, I know I'm not there yet. It's actually my dad who wanted to help.
Firma, last I heard, you could barely get out of bed.
I've had enough. I'd like to